Today we're tackling content creation across different platforms, using all the awesome material you sent us. Lots to unpack. It is. By the end of this, you'll be a content creation pro ready to conquer any platform. Absolutely. And the first thing to remember, you can't just post the same thing everywhere, right? You gotta tailor it. Like Instagram and Pinterest, those are visual, right? You need eye-catching stuff. Totally. Think about it. You're competing with tons of amazing visuals, so yours has to stand out and come stop scrolling. Yeah. But then there's Twitter, all about quick text, witty comments. Exactly. Every word counts. It's where you spark discussions, share updates, even jump on breaking news. And then, well, the sources mentioned LinkedIn versus TikTok. Talk about a clash of cultures. Can you imagine posting some super professional jargon filled article about your business achievements on TikTok? Wherever's doing dances and trends would be a total flop. Each platform has its own vibe, its own language. Gotta speak it fluently to connect with your audience. So tailoring is key. But then there are all the different types of content: text, images, videos, stories, like a content buffet. And each one has its strengths. Think of text as your foundation: blog posts, articles, that kind of thing, showing you know your stuff. But wouldn't that get old after a while? That's where images come in. They spice things up visually. Infographics make complex data easier to understand, and memes add humor. They catch the eye. Yeah, and then there's video. It's everywhere these days. So good reason. Video is amazing for emotions, storytelling. Would you rather read a product review or watch a demo? Video demo for sure. Plus, there are tutorials, behind the scenes stuff, even live Q&As. So versatile. You got it. And then you've got stories, those quick disappearing snippets that create FOMO, that fear of missing out, like a flash sale for content. I do so much in a short time. Polls, quizzes, the swipe up links, it's engaging. Okay, so we've got all these great content types, but how do we manage it all? Stay consistent. The sources mentioned the content calendar. Ah, the content calendar. Your secret weapon for organization. It's like having a personal assistant just for your content. No more last minute scrambling. What should we put on it? The sources highlighted some key things: publishing dates, for consistency, different content types to keep things interesting, makes sense, and campaign themes tying into events or holidays. Plus, don't forget performance metrics. Track what's working, what needs tweaking. So it's not just the schedule, it's a whole strategy. Exactly. But here's something really cool: user generated content. UGC, as I call it, amplifies your message, builds community, like having a whole army of fans spreading the word. Think about it. A friend's recommendation is way more powerful than a brand just talking about itself. Authenticity. Yeah, how do we get that UGC magic going? Branded hashtags are a good start. Create a hub for all that user content, like a virtual clubhouse. Love it. Contests and challenges are great too. Fun, incentivize people to create and share, add a little competition, right? And showcasing UGC on your own platforms. Shows appreciation, inspires others to join in. You route it. But community engagement goes deeper than just UGC, right? It's about those real connections: two-way conversation, active listening, making your audience feel heard. Exactly. And that's what we'll explore more in the next chapter: content marketing in the digital age. How to turn followers into passionate advocates. Sounds fascinating. We'll be right back with more content creation wisdom in just a bit. It's like, instead of just getting a lecture, you're having the conversation. Like at a dinner party or something, right? Engaging, connecting with people, not just talking you to them. Exactly. That's how you build those strong relationships with your audience. And speaking of building, I'm really excited about this next chapter you mentioned: content marketing in the digital age. Me too. It sounds like it takes things up a notch, gets more strategic. It does. It's all about creating content that doesn't just engage, but actually gets results for your business, your brand, whatever your goals are. So there's a purpose behind it. You're not just random content for the sake of it. Exactly. Making your content work for you to raise awareness, get leads, make sales. It's like having a super sharp content strategy. I like it. What kind of stuff can we expect to learn from this chapter? Well, it starts with really understanding your target audience, like laser focus on who they are, their needs, what they struggle with, what they want to achieve. You got it. The more you know about them, the better you can create content that really hits home. Find that perfect wavelength to broadcast on, so to speak. Exactly. Then you can tailor your message to their specific needs and desires. You wouldn't, try to sell a skateboard to someone who's really into knitting, unless there were some very adventurous knitters. But I get your point. It's got to be the right message for the right people. Exactly. So, step one, know your audience. What's next? Okay, so we know our audience. Then what? You need a content strategy that aligns with your overall business goals. What types of content will help you reach those objectives? Blog posts, videos, infographics. So it's like a game plan, but for content. What are plays? That's a great analogy. And a good strategy also tells you where to distribute that content, how often to post, how to measure your success. Data is super important. I don't know if it's actually working right. Absolutely. What gets measured gets managed, if they say. Track those metrics to see what's working, what's not, so you can keep improving. So this chapter is like leveling up our content game, getting more sophisticated. It is tailoring content to different platforms. Right, how that formal LinkedIn post would totally bomb on TikTok, different vibes, different languages. So I'm wondering, how does knowing your audience help you choose the right platform? That's a great question, and it's something we'll explore in detail in content marketing in the digital age. You gotta find out where your ideal audience hangs out online, how they like to consume content. You wouldn't, advertise fishing rods on a platform full of vegan bakers, unless you're trying to catch some very unique bakers, I guess. But yeah, it's about finding that perfect match between your content, your audience, and the platform they use. Exactly. Demographics, interests, engagement patterns, you gotta know all that to choose the best platforms. Makes sense, right? Totally. Now I'm even more eager to get to that next chapter. But before we move on, I think we should talk more about community engagement. Why is it so important? I agree. Building a strong, engaged community is like having a superpower as a content creator. It's like having a tribe of loyal fans who love what you do and want to be part of it. A built-in support system cheer you on. Exactly. And it's more than just likes and comments. They'll share your content, give you feedback, even become advocates for your brand, like a team of volunteers spreading the word. That's amazing. But it doesn't just happen overnight. You gotta nurture it, build relationships, make people feel welcome to share their thoughts. But how do we do that? That's the secret sauce for building that kind of community. Well, first of all, be authentic. People can sniff out a fake a mile away. Be yourself. Let your personality shine through. Don't be a robot. No more canned responses. Yeah, real human connection. Yeah, great. And be responsive. When someone comments or messages you, acknowledge them. Even a simple thank you goes a long way. Shows you care, you see them, you value what they have to say. Right, people feel valued, they're more likely to stick around, engage more, become part of your community. It's all about those individual connections, right, that weave together into a strong, supportive network. You got it. Community engagement is creating a sense of belonging, being part of something bigger, a space to share, ask questions, support each other, like gathering around a virtual campfire, sharing stories and encouragement. I love that. And like a campfire, you gotta keep it burning. Provide consistent values, spark conversations, create opportunities for people to interact. How do we do that? Give us some tips. Well, create content that sparks conversation, that encourages people to share their thoughts and experiences. Ask thought-provoking questions, do polls, host Q&A sessions. Turn content into a two-way street, not just a one-way broadcast. Exactly, and don't be afraid to ask for feedback. What do your followers want? What are they interested in? What are their challenges? Make them feel like they're part of the process, their voices matter. Exactly. That's how you create a community that's not just engaged, but invested in your success. They become your biggest supporters, your sounding board, your advocate. This is starting to sound less like marketing and more like a philosophy of life or something. In a way, it is. It's about building real, genuine connections with people who share your passions, creating something meaningful that goes beyond the online world. Those connections, those relationships, they make life richer, both online and offline. Absolutely. And here's the beautiful thing. When you focus on those genuine connections and providing real value, the business results will come naturally. Everyone wins. This has been such an insightful conversation about community engagement. We talked about why it's important, how to build those connections, create a welcoming space for people to thrive. And we've only scratched the surface. In the next chapter, Content Marketing in the Digital Age, we'll delve deeper into strategies and tactics for building thriving communities that support your content and amplify your message. This next chapter sounds like a must listen. We'll be back after a quick break to wrap up this deep dive and lead you with some final thoughts to ponder. And we're back, ready to wrap up our deep dive into all things content creation. We've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From tailoring content to different platforms, to user-generated content and building a community. And even got a glimpse of what's coming up in content marketing in the digital age. Sounds like we're leveling up, definitely. But before we send you off to conquer the content world, let's leave you with something to think about. Remember how we talked about each platform having its own unique personality? Or like how a super formal Lincoln post wouldn't fly on TikTok? Exactly. So here's the question. If you could only focus on mastering one platform right now, which would it be? And what kind of content would you specialize in to really make a splash? That's a good one. Think about your strengths, what you enjoy doing, and of course, where your target audience hangs out. Are you a Twitter whiz crafting those perfect tweets? Or maybe you're all about visuals, creating awesome Instagram reels? Could you be a YouTube star in the making? Find that sweet spot where your passion meets your audience's interests. It's all about that perfect match. So take some time to really consider this. What platform excites you? What kind of content gets your creative juices flowing? Once you know, jump in. Experiment, learn, and most importantly, have fun with it. Oh, we can't wait to see what you create. And remember, content creation is an ongoing journey. Keep learning, keep growing. Absolutely, there are always new things to try, new ways to connect with your audience. So keep experimenting, keep creating, and never stop pushing those boundaries. The world of content is constantly evolving. And hey, if you're ready to take it to the next level, turn those skills into a powerful force for your business, brand, whatever it may be. Definitely check out the next chapter, Content Marketing in the Digital Age, packed with even more insights and practical advice to help you become a true content marketing master. Until then, happy creating, everyone!